Hi, I have with me Darsh Golechha. He is the founder, the CEO for Monech. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Something about Monech yourself, how you founded it, when, how old is the organization?
We officially started Monech Private Limited 6 months back in the month of July in 2019. We based out of Mumbai, and we unofficially we kind of started off a year back because that's when we actually had the concept of doing what we are doing in the financial technology space, and yeah, that's where our journey started. I moved to Mumbai because of the startup, and yeah, we are incorporated in Andheri there, and it's been a good journey so far.
So officially you're like 7 months old.
Yeah, you make a sound, but okay.
Okay, unofficially you're a year old.
Yeah,
Okay. About the innovation, nucleus you presented.
yeah.
Something about the innovation.
Well, the idea of Nucleus is primarily because we all come from a middle class background. All the founders of our company, in fact, most of our team comes from that space. And what we realized is that when I was working for Goldman Sachs and when I was working for my family business as well, what we realized is that an individual today needs help with each and every wealth decision that they take, and they don't have a platform or they don't have someone to help them to do that. You know, if you see today, most of the companies that actually give you advisory, for that matter, they only focus on a set of products. Let's say mutual funds or an insurance or an ETFs. But we came from a very different perspective to this advisory in itself. What we wanted was that we wanted every individual to take advice on each decision that they take. Now, this decision can be as simple as, can I spend 50,000 on purchasing a laptop, or can I spend 5K on my flight to Bombay, for example. It can be very simple decisions to complicated ones like, how do I restructure my portfolio? And that's the idea of why we wanted to do this. And for that, we have built NLP based engine, which kind of answers any wealth question within a matter of 6 seconds.
Wealth question, as in?
Yeah, so any question about your money.
Okay.
It can be, like I said, it can be very simple question like, how much should I spend on dinner? That can be a simple question. Or it can be, can I take a loan for 10 lakhs? So it's more of a search engine model. And I know it's kind of on the likes of Google, but much more sophisticated than that. So yeah.
Very interesting. I'll be downloading that.
Thank you.
So how was the journey in thinking about Nucleus?
So initially we didn't we just knew that we wanted to do something in the space, but the way we wanted to do it was not very clear. So we started off as a proper wealth dashboard platform, and that was something that most of our customers who we were testing it out with, and even our advisors and stakeholders, did not really like. So then we figured that in India everything has gone in a push way. Like, you should do this, you should do that. So we realized the customers, when it comes to money, like to ask questions. And that's where we changed and flipped our model to a search engine. So that's where we decided to have vernacular voice recognition capabilities into our system. So now today, if you just say something to our engine, it gives you an instant customer experience with information. So that's the unique part about it. And that's where over the months that we actually moved, that's where we realized that that's what the customers wanted, and that's how we pivoted our model.
So you mean to say it kind of give you a relevance about, if you search for something, it would give you a relevance about that, about your search, and that's how it would help you come to a decision, is it?
Exactly. So I would say it is a more customized answer to what you're asking. So the way our system works is, we onboard a customer, and at that time itself, there's a lot of data that goes into the picture. So the data, as we all know, is one of the most important commodities for a company, if not the, right? And we take this data on the day of onboarding, your data, right? And then we use that data to build your own search engine. So it's like you're creating your own search engine, and the answers that we give are backed by the algorithms and the machine learning and the artificial intelligence that we have set around it.
Oh, okay. And also the experience and the personal suggestions that we have shared with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a mixture of both.
Yes.
Okay. How was the jury about such innovation? How were the thoughts? What were the questions? And how was it for you?
So that you'll have to ask the jury.
No, how was your experience,
our experience
facing them?
So it was the first time that we actually pitched for an award per se, right? The first time we pitched for an award. We always pitch for either investments or other things, right? But it was a different experience because I think the jury here is very, very distinguished, to say, right? They've come from very good tech, and I think a couple of them are from a finance background as well. So that actually gave us a lot of insights. The question they asked were actually very, very relevant to what we are doing, and yeah, it was nice. And more importantly, I felt that the jury was in touch with what you were saying. Like they kind of understood what you were talking about, because they now know that, I mean, everyone knows this, but there's no context based search engine today. And when we said that to them, they actually understood, because most of the time when you pitch to other people, they really don't understand the tech behind it. So they just understand what's the business model, what's the concept, but they actually figured the tech out of it. So that was a very good part for us. Finally, someone was asking us questions about the tech. So yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Any competition?
From the product wise,
Yeah.
so we don't see any direct competition, to be really honest, because there's no advisor for middle class yet in India that's actually doing what we are doing in the way we are doing it. But when it comes to indirect competition, there are a lot of banks and financial institutions that are already there. You have the big wigs like Paytm, PhonePe, and all of these guys actually coming into the financial services space, and a lot of fintech startups also coming in with different models, right? So we actually encourage competition, to be really honest. We like it because that actually shows that what you're doing is actually right, to say.
It motivates, in fact.
Exactly. So it's always good to create a market, because this space, there's not much awareness already, and it's always good if there's competition that's helping you create awareness. It makes your job easier.
But I don't think there is a direct competition.
No. So direct wise, we don't see anyone offering advisory service in a subscription model, first thing. Second thing, there is no engine or machine learning based algorithm that actually gives out this form of personalized, customized suggestion that we're talking about. And yeah, the fact that it's unlimited gives the customers an added advantage.
How is it for you personally, and also to bring Monech on this platform of Aegis Graham Bell Awards?
So firstly, it's Monech, right?
Monech.
Yeah. And personally speaking, it's been a very different journey that I had imagined. Everyone is, there's a lot of the entrepreneurship is always romanticized before you're starting it out, right? But once you get into it, you really understand what actually goes into it, right? And so I left my family business to in fact start this up. Okay. So not a lot of family support there.
A lot of sacrifice.
I wouldn't call it sacrifice.
As in, for you,
yes.
On a,
yeah. I get what you mean. So yeah, that way it was, and then plus I moved to a new city as well. So that was a challenge, but it was nice. I really now understand a little bit, if not a lot, about the space and what we need to do, rather, to be where we want to be, to serve the customer, to actually ensure that all the stakeholders in this industry kind of understand and accept what we're doing. Because what we're doing is I don't know if we could call it disruptive, but it's definitely a bit different from what is being going on, right? So it's obviously going to take some time for people to accept this, and that patience is what I have learned along the way, that we need to be patient about this. And yeah, we are here for the long haul. So
you are in the market for like 1 year or 6 months, 7 months, whatever you say it. So you have been innovating all this months. So anything, any food for thought, or any wisdom that you would want to share with the innovators or the aspiring innovators?
I am too young for that.
Yeah, but still you must have actually lot of thoughts and lot of patience, as you mentioned, must have gone. So anything that you would want to share?
So there's one thing that I actually learned it in a Y Combinator video. It's by Geoff Ralston, if I'm not wrong. So he is one of the partners at Y Combinator, and he said a very interesting thing. We're a part of startup school in Y Combinator, and they were very interesting thing that when you get ideas, right? So we used to get a lot of ideas. Like all of our team, we get crazy ideas every day. Like this is what we can do. This is what we can do. This is what we can do. And initially we tried to put all of that into the product, right? And he said very important thing that when you have an idea, when you've decided that the next 2 months you're going to spend your time doing this, whatever idea you have, write it down. Don't spend time thinking about it. So just block your mind from doing that and from thinking about those ideas, and do what you have already decided to do. Because by the time you put that idea and then extend your framework, you will always keep on extending. So it was a very important advice, and I think that for me has been one of the core things that we have kind of started doing now. So when we get something, we just put it on a glass, and we are like, okay, we'll figure it out later. Let's just finish this. So yeah, and that's kind of worked good for us till now. So that's something that I think everyone should take in point.
Thank you. We wish you and the entire team of Monech all the good luck for the title.
Thank you so much. Thank you.